So this is Steve, and I'm here with Jack Morris. He is running for the Indiana State Senate, District 15, against Tom Weiss this November. Jack, we appreciate your time this morning. Tell me a little. Good. Well, tell me a little bit about what's going on this morning.
Well, this morning we had our official campaign headquarters opening. I was blessed to have a good crowd here. Organized labor was involved. We had other candidates here. Some of them have left by this time, but it was great having them here. We had wall-to-wall people. Had a good chance to fellowship together. We also just had a chance to talk a little bit about what we're trying to do. And what we're trying to do here is get involved and change the way Indiana does business, wasting tax dollars and not getting good return for them. A good one is in the area of labor, where we spend money to give tax money to give companies incentives to create jobs, but then we don't hold them accountable for them being really net jobs. Oftentimes all we do is take jobs away from another area in our community, and that's not job creation, that's just job replacement. And oftentimes even then the jobs are less paying than the ones that got eliminated. So we're spending tax dollars for a net loss in revenue of tax money and in a net loss of jobs for our community. Another area that we've done where we've seen a waste of tax money is the silly elimination of the tax assistance that we give to people who adopt children with special needs. Our governor cut funding for that, and yet when we have those children in foster homes, we pay 50% more to keep them in a foster home than we would have if we had helped support a loving family who wanted to adopt the kids. So it's not the right moral way to do it, and it's not the right fiscal way to do it. Oftentimes, people say they're going to cut taxes, but if it's just done without well being thought out and without balancing what we're losing to gain that net loss, we're actually end up costing us more in the long haul. Another area is education. If we don't have good education, it's going to cost us more tax dollars down the road. In fact, we should expand education to include early childhood education. Early childhood education has been shown it will reduce the number of teen pregnancies, it will reduce high school dropouts, it will reduce juvenile delinquency, it will gain college attendees, and it will reduce those who will go on welfare. The real way to break and to eliminate our so-called handout benefits like welfare, Medicaid, is to educate. And starting with early childhood education is the best way to do that. If we do that, we can really then take control of what we're doing. We'll have better jobs because we'll have a better educated workforce. We'll have less people on the public payroll for welfare benefits, and overall it's a net win.
Mm-hmm. Where do you stand on property tax caps? There's a referendum on the ballot for November to make them a part of the Constitution, the state Constitution. Where do you stand on property tax caps?
First, on amendments to the Constitution, I am very, very reluctant to tinker with constitutions. Constitutions are a broad-based thing. It's not there for the little things that we amended for this and amended for that. So in general, I'm against that. On the property tax, I'm going to vote against the property tax. I don't think we have an adequate replacement or an adequate plan to allow for funding of our school systems. If we're going to do something like a cap on property taxes, we have to first straighten out what's going on, because what we've seen this year is loss of teachers, more kids in the classroom for teachers, and that is going to hurt this generation of children. We're going to pay for that in the long run. So I think it's unwise to have made those cuts without a proper plan for what we're going to do with them. So in general, I would be against it. I'm willing to talk about how we could phase things in, and I would, in fact, be in favor of something that would help those on fixed incomes not have to pay property taxes. But I don't really see helping the very wealthy to reduce their property taxes. 72% of us don't benefit from these property tax cuts. It really only benefits those people who are well off already. And once again, it's that plan of somehow some people always believe if we help the wealthy, it will trickle down to the poor. But this is another example where it won't, and we're seeing the devastating impact on our school system.
Mm-hmm. Your opponent recently sent out an email highlighting that the 40 key bills for jobs and employment that he's voted on. Any response to what he had to say?
Yeah, actually, I got that email, and it said that Senator Weiss was the most pro-job legislator in Indiana. And I laughed when I saw that. I thought, that can't be. And then when I read the article, I realized it was rated by the Chamber of Commerce. Well, so what I titled that then is, it depends on the perspective. It depends on whose eyes you're looking through. From the Chamber of Commerce and big business, yeah, maybe he is the most pro-job for them, because the jobs he's created pay less per hour, less benefits, so all that does help big business make more money. But it isn't pro-labor. I challenge you to go to any labor organization and ask them, is Tom Weiss pro-job? Because they will flatly tell you, no, he's not. It all depends on where you're looking from. If you're looking at it from the view of a worker, the middle class people, he is not pro-job. If you look at it from big business, Chamber of Commerce view, then he's pro-business, is what I would say.
Okay. Anything else that you want to add? Anything that?
Well, one thing that doesn't often get asked about, and I had one of the ladies here, Abby, who heads up Save Maumee, the environmental approach of making sure we properly use our money to also be good stewards of our environment. Abby was here, and she's a very outspoken person on the cleaning up of Fort Wayne rivers. The rivers in Fort Wayne should be an asset to our community, but right now we can't use them because they're polluted. We need to improve our water runoff system, and we need to just overall prevent what we're dumping into our rivers. So I want to put that out there for your people watching this blog. So if they have questions, they can get in touch with Abby at Save Maumee, and then they could perhaps get active in being part of the solution of cleaning our rivers.
Okay. Anything else?
That's good. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Jack.
Appreciate you being here.
Yep.